We would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands on which we meet to share these conversations on the Vegan Compass podcast.
We extend our respect to elders past and present, as well as any of our listeners and guests. Hello and welcome to the Vegan Compass podcast, unveiling truths, inspiring change. We are your hosts, Rick Allport and Mackenzie Cross.
From wherever you're listening, please be sure to like and subscribe to support this podcast. Now to the episode. Welcome back, everyone. Another episode of the Vegan Compass podcast. We are so excited to have you with us today. As always, we are your co-hosts, Rick Allport and Mackenzie Cross.
How are you today, Mackenzie?
I was just about to ask how you were going.
Well, I'm asking you first. I thought I'd jump in.
I am good, thank you. We both have had a bit of a heavy day just with work, lots of animal cruelty topics. So, yeah.
It's been pretty tough day.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of stuff for Vegan Australia with sheep and looking at such horrible footage. So it's kind of nice to be here and doing something. We've just had a really nice dinner made by your amazing husband, Brody.
House husband duties.
So,
yes, who are we talking to today,
Who are we
Rick?
talking to today? Well, I got to say I'm very excited about this one because I guess, can we call her the new kid on the block?
Yeah.
I think we can. So
Sure.
very, very happy to have with us today Amanda Dorn from WA AJP. And of course, big congratulations, Amanda, on getting elected. That is a huge thing. My first question to you, though, is who are you and what do you do?
Hi, Rick. Hi, Mackenzie. Look, it's terrific to be here. Thank you so much. It's an honour to be on the Vegan Compass podcast. It really is. I listen to you guys, to all of your episodes, in fact. I'm just Amanda Dorn from Perth, and I've been vegan for 9 years. And I literally just run my own business, and I've literally just been an enthusiastic committee member for AJP for a number of years now, and then we got elected. So that's really it. I've just been enthusiastic and just a loyal member, committee member, volunteering on the stalls, and now here we are.
Very, very exciting. So let's take you back a little bit to when you first got involved in animal protection issues. So could you tell us a little bit about what opened your eyes to the plight of animals?
I went vegan for health reasons initially, which most people know my story, especially if you've listened to my inaugural speech in Parliament, which was just incredible to even say that in a sentence. And I began watching documentaries such as Dominion and Lucent, Forks Over Knives, Gary Yourofsky's compelling speech on animals. And it was really Earthlings. When I watched the documentary Earthlings, I made that connection with the leather couch that I was sitting on and what I was eating, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I just really made that connection with animals and just making ethical choices with eating. And it was those documentaries. I just lifted up the veil of my own ignorance and just thought, what am I doing? And it really just flipped a switch for me. In fact, it really did.
I guess that's a lot of people's story, isn't it? They've watched documentaries, and there've been people like Gary Yourofsky or, anyone along those lines, Joaquin Phoenix, who will, come out and do these amazing talks, and it changes people's minds and perspectives. I just wish more people would watch those speeches that people have made, because Gary's, of course, was an eye-opener. And, of course, Gary's come back into the scene now, which is really interesting to see him back doing more stuff again. Still taking you back a little bit. So you've been, you've opened your eyes, you've become vegan, but what did you do before you became a politician?
Well, I'm a real estate agent. And so I've been a real estate agent for 20 years in sales. And then just over 10 years ago, I started my own business focusing on property management. And so I'm still doing that. So it was really, I've had to employ somebody. I'm just a sole trader working from home. Terrific business, run my own hours. It's great. So with this transition into Parliament, I've had to employ somebody who's working out really well, and she's been fantastic. So that's what I've still got, because I've got such a valuable and important client database, who are very supportive of what I do, even though it's a database effectively of a database of Liberal voters. They voted for me. I like to think a few of them did. A lot of them did, just purely because they know me, like me, and trust me. And they know that I'm passionate about animal welfare. So I got their support a lot. And I just like to think that I've made a small headway with changing some of their minds as well on animal rights, animal activism, and their choices, their food choices as well.
That's amazing. I run my own business as well. And I can only imagine that sort of step of then you go, oh crap, got elected. What are we going to do now? Rewrite the business plan.
that sort of takes me to, did you think you were going to get elected? Did you think you were in with a chance, or?
Oh, look, we thought we had a chance, absolutely. And we went into every election thinking we're going to get in. So we've been fighting for this for quite a number of years. And a few months ago, I broached somebody to actually run my business. I said, look, there could be a good chance that we might actually get elected. I might have to start thinking about what am I going to do with my business? Like, what's going to happen? And, so, we stood a pretty good chance because the government had actually changed the rules. And so now the upper house represents the whole state and not just in little regions. So, and with the Greens, the preferencing, you got your cats. I love it.
Oh. He's up to mischief.
Yeah. He's been sitting under the table hitting me in the leg.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've got my two dogs waiting to go for a walk as well. I've got the greyhound there. So it was the preferences of the Greens that really pushed our vote upwards, and we've got a really good relationship with them. There's 4 sitting members in the upper house with them, and then there's us. We're sort of like, some people have come out and said we're like the super Greens. Do you know what I mean? Because we're vegan, and to be honest, I'm surprised the Greens aren't vegan. The more times that I spend with them, it surprises me that they're not. And the fact that we can bring animal agriculture to the Parliament in regards to climate change, I'm really so proud of being able to do that, because that's been largely ignored, the negative impact that animal ag is having on the climate.
Absolutely. No one else is talking about that.
Yeah, I wish the Greens would actually take on animal ag, because they have turned a blind eye to it for many, many, many years. And I think possibly from when Richard D. Natale became the head, because he actually ran an animal agriculture farm.
Yeah.
And I think they then sort of veered away from it and quietly went, oh, okay, we're not going to talk about that, but we'll talk about other things, which was a real shame.
Well, hopefully that's changed now, Rick, because that's the one thing I'm proud to to bring to the forefront, and to keep talking about that and bring it up as often as I can, because I'm really passionate about factory farming, because that's really what I'm against, based on what I have actually seen. And as I said, when I lifted up that, stop being ignorant and actually recognised the food choices I was making and how harmful they were. Yeah, I'm really passionate about ending factory farming.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into some of your campaigns in a moment. But first, I would love to know how you first got involved with the AJP.
They were friends of mine. They're also real estate agents, and they were running the Animal Kindness Centre. They became vegan. We all sort of became vegan around about the same time for various different reasons. And they said to me, look, we've got this vegan political party. We've got this forum happening, a meet and greet for this vegan political party, they called it. And I went, oh, really? Vegan political party? I'm in. And I just went, that is fantastic. And I just embraced it immediately. It was Katrina Love and Jenny, what's Jenny's last name? They both migrated to Tasmania. They both, I can't remember Jenny's last name. Anyway, And they were doing a speech, and I just thought, no, this is fantastic. And I got involved immediately, became a member, joined up, and started volunteering. Yeah.
So you've actually run as an AJP candidate, as you said, in WA for quite a few times. What has kept you so motivated to keep going?
Look, Rick, I believe in the party so much, our core values, the movement, driving the party forward and building on our membership database. It just became a really enjoyable part of my life's work. I just believe in the party so much. The fact that animals and farm animals were not ignored, they weren't being left behind. And the fact that the Animal Justice Party is gutsy enough and ballsy enough to actually take on the ag department, I was like just straight in there, and I just thought, this is fantastic. I just believe in the party, Rick. I really do. That's what's totally motivated me. Yeah, sure, it was disappointing when we didn't get in, and we learned from that experience. And then we had this terrific campaign, thanks to Natalie Burgon, who we will talk about, who was our former deputy convener, who's now my chief of staff. You know, she had us talking about the 2025 election almost 3 years ago, and we were all laughing. She goes, we've got to have a plan, and we got together and we created this plan that she had us stick to, and here we are.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and yeah. I actually say, and this is something that I really wish all AJP parties would do, is start planning so far ahead. Yeah. And start, basically, you got to start your campaign 2 years before the actual election, because AJP is still not known by a lot of people, and you got to get in their face. You got to be able to get out there, and people have got to recognise you and
start tapping people on the shoulder to be candidates.
Yeah, and educating the public and letting the public know that there is an Animal Justice Party, and they are standing for animals, and environment and people as well. But there is a major focus on animals, because both Mackenzie and I have run. And a lot of people have said, oh, well, what do you stand for and what are you about? And it's because that lack of education.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there, actually. And our plan was to meet with key stakeholders. Like, we met with all the CEOs, as far as like with RSPCA, with the Cat Haven, with the dog refuges. We really went to those high level conversations over the last couple of years to talk to everybody, but nobody really took us seriously. They still didn't really take us seriously, but now I think we will. Now, when we're not on the fringes anymore, and I think now we'll start to be taken seriously because we did get in, and yeah, that's right. But that's that was definitely what kept motivating me, actually, just because I believed in the party so much.
I think this is just a stepping stone for WA. It's going to open up so many more opportunities for animal protection and connection with all of those organisations that you mentioned. So it really is very exciting to see how things are going to unfold for animals over the course of your election term? Is that what it's called?
Your term.
Your term. Yeah. So I remember you had to wait weeks to get the election result. We are in touch with Bruce Poon quite often, and he kept telling us, like, oh, no, the result's been pushed back another couple of weeks. And
there's a chance, and it's a maybe, and it's a possible. And he kept us on the edge of our seats.
So what was that moment like when you finally found out after waiting for so long?
Oh, look, I cried, and then I whooped and I hollered, and it was just stretched out so much, and then it was called, and we had to keep waiting and waiting. And I just said to the team, I won't be there. They went into the city to the certain room to go and listen to to watch the draw of it all and whatnot, and to watch the outcome. And then they got in touch with me, and they just sent me this message, and we were all crying, and I whooped and hollered and cried some more, and then jumped in an Uber to join them in the city and started celebrating. And it was fantastic. It was to actually win that final seat and to scrape in. It was almost like that Stephen Bradbury moment, that Olympic moment. AJP, Amanda Dorn, AJP Perth, WA has scraped in like Stephen Bradbury. It was really like winning. I'm sure it was like winning the Olympics.
I love that. I love that analogy, and I still remember watching Stephen Bradbury go across that finish line. Everybody else is decimated on the ice and scrambling, and he's just like, "Yeah, I've won."
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I love that. And then he retired. He retired a national hero.
Yeah, why
Good
would
time
you?
to
Yeah, why would you
retire.
want to go and defend your title? It's like,
Yeah.
no, I got it. That's it. That's all I need to do.
Exactly. So look, no, that we're in and we're wrapped.
So what are the next steps? So you've started finding your team. You've been sworn in now, I think, and you've had your first speech, your maiden speech.
Yeah.
How was all that? Because that's 3 huge stepping stones.
Yep, it was. The inaugural speech, that was terrific. That went down really well. I got a standing ovation. Now it's live online everywhere. Everyone can watch it. Make yourself a cup of tea because it's 25 minutes long, and it was really, it's just amazing. And the team was organising the team. That was set, because as far as like with Natalie Burgon, she's such a powerful organiser with massive real foundation skills. And I said to her, look, if I get in, you get in. And that was always, so I basically gave the committee a job. They've quit their job. Michael's in as well. And so is Natalie, Amanda Mack. She's also working part-time. We got Meg. Because we need to find somebody just like Meg over in Perth, but so that was it. Giving the committee a job was just easy because we all get along so well. And it made sense that we'll be able to do this job as a dream come true, because we've been dreaming about it for so long. So it was kind of easy actually to organise the team. Yeah.
So you've kind of touched on all of your motivations for running for the party and your connections with the animals, but could you sort of summarise what it really means to you to represent animals in Parliament?
It's a huge responsibility and it's an honour, because animals now have a voice that will represent them and their needs in Parliament, and to ensure that legislation considers them as the sentient beings that they are. We want to improve upon and change as much legislation as possible. From the few weeks that we have been in there since I was sworn in on May the 22nd, and then the speech was May the 28th. You can't do anything in Parliament until you make that speech, right? You can't sort of put your hand up or anything. So for that now, because animals were largely, they're not being considered at all. And so I think that's taken people by surprise, because now, to be able to represent them is a huge honour. Yeah.
Once you're in, you can find all of those opportunities to represent animals where other people just aren't looking for them.
Now,
exactly.
You're already campaigning on some really important animal issues, and I actually didn't know about this one until Mackenzie told me the other day. Hermit crabs, that's a really interesting one to actually explain to everybody, because I don't think anybody really knows what's happening with the hermit crabs. We do know, of course, you've been campaigning on sow stalls, and I think pretty much everyone knows about sow stalls and how horrific they are. But please, can you tell us about the hermit crabs? I'm fascinated by this.
That was, we were so grateful, because it was Georgie Purcell's office that flagged that with us. And so as soon as we could actually, now we've got an issue. We've got an issue we can run with, because this is an immediate issue. And Merv's crazy crabs, he calls them, further north up near Esperance, he walks along the beach, picks up a whole bunch of thousands of hermit crabs, and he exports them. He's been doing this since the 70s, okay? So now he wants to expand on his license, and he had to apply federally. So we have literally ran with this, and because, hermit crabs, they're not just, merely just a curious little exotic creature in a plastic cage in a souvenir shop. They're more than that. They're intelligent, social animals. They use shells as tools. They can experience pain and they remember it. Their role in coastal ecosystems is really profound, because they help recycle nutrients. They break down organic material, and they support the health of the coastal forests. So to be able to action and to motivate our members to actually put your submissions in to oppose the expansion of this. I mean, the AJP, we're against the export of any live animal, all animals, all countries, all seasons, forever. So, and that includes the hermit crab. So this is, I'm sure this would have taken Merv by surprise, the fact that now there's opposition to what he's been doing for the last 40 years. And it's only because it's been ignored, because there's no accountability. He does his own accounting. He reports to DBCA and says, oh no, we just go to a different part of the beach. Absolutely, we're not having any impact on the population whatsoever. He submits that. Everybody's fine. Everybody's happy with that. And that's, so he's sort of doing his own,
auditing.
Sorry?
Auditing.
It's absolutely doing his own auditing. That's exactly the word I'm looking for sure. So that's an enormous breach, an enormous conflict of interest anyway. So now we've got an opportunity to say something, and we have, because we're in, and we can actually be heard, and the hermit crabs will get a voice now.
But so you said that he's sending it overseas, and some like staggering figure of how many he's sending overseas. So explain exactly what they're taking him overseas for. You know,
pets.
It's just pets.
It's just pets.
Yeah, I thought there might have been other. So it's just pets.
People who want a pet hermit crab in a depressing little plastic tank.
I'm just gobsmacked that there would be that many people who would want hermit crabs as pets.
Absolutely. Well, they call them an easy pet for children, because it's an easy pet that you can potentially forget about, which is what happens. I mean, these little guys can live for up to 50 years in the wild, but they're living within a matter of months, literally a matter of months, in a little tank. So Merv thinks that they can live for up to 5 years in captivity, but I mean, that's only under stringent conditions, which is like warm water, and and it's really
having somewhere where they can bury under the sand, because they do. I don't know if hibernate is the right word, but they do, hibernate.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's right. Quite a sensitive little creature, and certainly sensitive to the elements as well. So it's easy for them to either freeze or to overheat. So they're quite a temperamental, a delicate little creature. So he wants to export 60,000 a year potentially.
And where's he exporting them to?
Let's see my list. Japan. Look, Rick, I haven't got my list in front of me. The list is extensive, but I'll have to get that list over to you actually. And I'm sorry I didn't write that down.
No, that's all right. We can throw it in the show notes and we'll also throw your maiden speech in the show notes too, so people can watch
amazing.
that.
Okay. Yep. That's amazing.
So you mentioned that the public, you sort of set up a campaign to get submissions against this. So what kind of response did you have? Did you get lots of submissions? Was there a lot of support?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot of support, in fact, and people were shocked that this has been allowed to continue for so long, and largely unregulated. There was the Gulari radio station up in the Kimberley in northern WA. I was on the radio with them. That's a First Nations, a traditional owner radio show, and they were surprised that it was happening and that this has actually been ignored as well. So the response that we've had from the general public has been really positive.
That's great. And so the submissions have closed now. What's the next process before you find out the outcome?
Look, it's just a matter of waiting, Mackenzie. It's just waiting. I guess in things when it comes to government, it really does take time. And we're just hoping that all those submissions that were made, because strangely enough, it goes to the federal government as well. That's where the application was through. So it's just a matter of waiting. Let's see if he does actually get that extension. We hope not. And it's just really a matter of waiting now, Mackenzie.
Okay, well, fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm still sitting here just stunned. Like, I had no idea that this industry, existed. That's just blown my mind. And the amount that he's sending over,
60,000.
Yeah, that's insane. But well done on getting, pushing to get some sorts of results, because hopefully it's going to end up stopping what's obviously a horrible industry, especially when you think they can live 50 years in the wild, but lucky if they live a few months in captivity. I mean, that's just horrendous.
It was terrific being able to collaborate with Georgie Purcell as well and Emma Hurst, and having their support and just working together on similar issues as well, so we can roll these things out, nationwide at the same time. It's kind of have like a really joint combined effort moving forward.
Yeah, look, they're just powerful. We love Georgie and Emma, and I was actually down in Victoria 2 weeks ago and meeting with Georgie for my other job, which is Kangaroos Alive. And
great.
meeting with her about, the way forward for kangaroos in Victoria, because a lot of horrible things are happening in Victoria for kangaroos, which off the podcast, I'll probably contact you in my role as Kangaroos Alive to see what we can do in Western Australia, because I know you're also very keen on getting wildlife protections and all those sorts of things happening as well.
Absolutely. I was part of the kangaroo working group, in fact, that was rolled out, and they were terrific for, Louise was on that as well. I think she still is. Maureen was on that, Queensland Maureen. She's fabulous. And just the stats were just amazing. And it just sort of, now that we're in, hopefully we can have more of an impact on that industry, because I just felt that the kangaroo working group, I wasn't adding much value. I couldn't keep the monthly meetings and whatnot. I couldn't add any more to it because nothing had changed. Nothing had changed. I had nothing new to report. We had the stats. We went through it. The kangaroo counting is completely fudged, and it's completely inaccurate. It's wildly inaccurate. There's localized areas in Western Australia of extinction. So, and these are the important things that the general public needs to know about. But
yeah, they're our native icon. They should not be going extinct in Australia.
I know. It's absolutely obscene that, there are local extinctions happening everywhere. And I feel really sad for the people in Canberra. I was down in Canberra a couple of months ago and meeting with them, and they've just gone through another horrendous month and a half of the the Canberra government just going, open slather, go for it, This is what you're aiming for. This is how many you want to kill. And the bottom line is they're trying to make the kangaroo extinct in Canberra. And it's all because of development and lies that farmers and shooters keep sprouting all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, it does. It breaks my heart as well, and especially when they've rolled out the latest Ruby the kangaroo for Tourism Australia. They're using our native icon, and look at what happens, the slaughter that happens after dark, and what's happening to but Canberra was leading the way with Gonacon, which is that contraception. So they were. So why can't that be?
It's a bit controversial with the contraception, because it's leaving kangaroos very confused. So because it's working against their natural instincts. But the fact is, they're not overrun with kangaroos. It's it's a complete lie that the Canberra government is pushing out. It's absolutely horrendous what's happening there. Yeah. And of course across Australia and in Victoria, where they've just said it's open season, you can just kill. So anyway, we digress.
We're going to have a whole episode dedicated to kangaroos. We'll have Mick and Kate from Kangaroos Alive. We'll do a whole episode on that. But yes, let's bring it back to your work, Amanda. You've also been campaigning around sow stalls. As Rick mentioned, a lot of us already know about sow stalls. I'm just gobsmacked that they even still exist. They were supposed to be phased out years ago, weren't they? I mean, so could you maybe give us a bit more information or insight into the main barriers to making them illegal? Why hasn't that happened yet?
There's more oversight is needed and accountability. The ban was supposed to start from 2017 with a 6-week limit of the time that a pregnant cow can remain confined in a sow stall. But we haven't had this confirmed. Now that we're in Parliament, it'll allow us and me to keep the pressure on the government to find out, which has definitely been the questions with notice that we've given the government to ask for, where is that? Because it came to a standstill because there was no pressure. There's no pressure. There was no political will. They could just, that was it. So we also believe CCTV, we want CCTV in factory farms to show people, exactly how pigs are actually living. It was like the Animals Australia ad. You didn't know. Did you remember that ad? Fantastic,
great,
fantastic commercial, really powerful commercial. And so that's it. Now that I'm in, we can definitely hold the government accountable to have them, absolutely action that ban of 2017. That's all I can say, is that now that we're in, these things won't be overlooked anymore. They won't be left. Yeah, they won't be overlooked.
So there are a couple of campaigns that people probably didn't know about, especially the hermit crab. I don't think many people would have known about it. But how do you decide where to focus your energy and what issues to take? Because there are so many issues. How do you prioritize what is the most important at the time?
We took Emma Hurst's advice on this one, and we spent the whole day, once with the team and we spent the whole day working at every issue, and we had them all on post-it notes, we had it on a whiteboard, we had all the issues, and we're like, okay, and we had this agenda. It was fantastic. We wrote down every issue. So we created an agenda, and we created a plan around that, and that's what's keeping us focused on our priorities. But we also recognise the need for us to pivot if an issue is raised that we need to address immediately. Like the hermit crabs, that came out of nowhere. And we did. We pivoted, and then we all focused our energy on it, and we achieved a lot in a small amount of time to encourage people to put their submission in, their objection to this application. So it's really, that's what it is, Rick, is that we've got an agenda for the big items that we want to achieve, which is Vedicare, also an independent office for animal protection. We really want to go for we want to really push that. And then, it's the agenda, I think, and what we can do. And then creating those allies and those connections within Parliament. Because in the Assembly, the lower house, that's dominated by Labor, okay? So now we've got a stronger crossbench in the upper house with 4 Greens, me. The Greens have got the balance of power, which is terrific. And so it's about working with Labor in the lower house to see what is important to them. I know that there is actually, there's one of their members, he's vegan. I'm having a cup of coffee with him next week. So it's really about strengthening those sort of relationships, creating relationships with people I don't know, and then finding out what's important to them and where's the common ground and how can we push our agenda forward with just being a minor party and one person. So we're working together as a team.
How are you finding because I know when I've spoken to Emma and Georgie, they are creating relationships with people that you wouldn't think they'd be creating relationships with and finding common ground. How are you finding that in WA? Are you finding that you're getting through to some people you wouldn't have thought you would get through to?
Yeah, absolutely. Because there was 19 of us, I believe 19 of us that were newly elected into the upper house. And so we had training through Parliament. It was the first time that they'd rolled out this induction training. So we all got together with, the Liberals, One Nation, the Nationals, and we're all on different tables and we all got to know each other. And they're actually all very nice people. And so now it was like, a couple of them, the Liberal people, they've got, one of them has a greyhound. There's one of the One Nation guy. His wife is he has a horse riding school for disability kids. So, we've found common ground with these people. So now it's a matter of, we've only been in a short time. Parliament's only been in for a short time. So we haven't had anything really major to come up yet. We've got the budget that's just been released, and I'll get an opportunity to make a speech on that. We can't change this year's budget, but we can hopefully influence next year's budget. But I get an opportunity to actually speak for an unlimited speaking time. We're going to stick to 30 minutes. But yeah, on where the budget is lacking when it comes to animal welfare, when it comes to supporting wildlife carers and volunteers. So yeah, just focus on where it's lacking.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity to do that. And let's hope that the next budget has lots of funding for animals.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'll be aiming for, Mackenzie. Absolutely.
Yeah. So progress in legislation and government and the political space can often be a bit slow. So what gives you hope doing this work?
The fact that we're actually there, the fact that we're there and doing everything that we can every day to make changes that will better the lives of animals, people, and the planet. Because there's so many other issues, not just animal issues that we are focused on, but there's other issues that we can seek common ground on with the other parties as well, what's important to them, but then driving our issue forward and just bringing to the forefront, to the Parliament, the issues that have been long forgotten or people didn't even know about. So that's absolutely what I'm doing every day to try to make a difference.
So looking ahead, and you've got a good amount of time, you've got 4 years and then hopefully another 4 years after that. So looking ahead, is there anything else that anything you're really excited about to work on next?
Yes, the Brisbane Vegan Expo. I'm coming over for that.
Oh, I'll see you there.
It's exciting. Natalie's organised it with the committee, and we only spoke about it today and yesterday. She only spoke with the committee, I believe, last night, like yesterday. So I know, and I've got a speech on the Sunday morning for the expo, and I just love spending time with like-minded people. I mean, I love our own Perth Vegan Expo, and I saw your last year's agenda. It's huge. It's so much bigger than Perth's. So I just can't wait to see all the artisan stalls and just have a look at meet all the Queensland committee and just meet everybody. And I always love those events. I love those. I really do.
I've got to tell you, Brisbane Vegan Expo is amazing. You will, of course, meet Mackenzie there. But you'll also meet Liesl and Johnny, who are the organisers. They're just absolutely wonderful people. Give them both a big hug from me. I miss them a lot. And I miss the Queensland team, of course, because I was the convener of Queensland for 4 years. So I do miss the team up in Queensland. They're a very dedicated, passionate bunch. But I remember the time we did Brisbane Expo when I was convener, 2 days. By the end of 2 days, I had no voice left. It was such an amazing event. There were so many people and it was just the best outreach ever.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved every minute. I'm trying to convince Mick and Kate to send me up there this time, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, this is my first time having a stall there for my business, Total Ethics, and I have a speaking slot as well. So that'll be really cool. We can both speak, Amanda.
That's great. Look, I'm just so excited to be, because I love all the workshops and all the different speakers. I'm really looking forward to just immersing myself in the whole experience.
Yeah.
Because in the last couple of years, I've been the MC for our Perth Vegan Expo. And so you sort of miss the speaking slots when you're just sort of there for the whole weekend. But this one, I'm just really looking forward to it, to seeing what I can bring back to Perth and to inspire our WA arm of the Vegan Expo to see what you guys are doing.
Well, speaking of expos, the Animal Rights Forum is in Sydney next year. Have you been approached yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I will, because I'm on the organising committee, I will get them to approach you, because usually we have Emma and Georgie come in. So I will say we now need to get Amanda in as well. Look,
well, I'll just say right now, when I am there, I'm just going to give you a resounding yes.
It's February 21, 22.
Oh, okay.
So
terrific.
That's
great.
Yeah, it should be a great event. We did it in February last year, and had a great amount of people in. And of course, then we also do the Animal Justice Foundation Awards on the evening. So we get to do that live. Mackenzie and I get to co-host it. So quite the double team. But it's just such an amazing event. It really is. And you get to hear such incredible speeches from people and insights. There's workshops. So it'd be really good to have you across there.
Yeah, look, I'd love to. I really would. So definitely, thanks very much, Rick, for sure.
Yeah, cool. I'll talk to the team tomorrow.
Excellent.
Great. That's great.
Well, we have one final question for you, Amanda. What would you say to someone who's passionate about animal rights but feels unsure about politics? So how can they start to get involved and make a difference in that space?
I'd say join the AJP, then get involved and volunteer in any small or big way that you want, with market stalls, regional groups, join a group, talk to other members, collaborate, and just activate yourself in the space and surround yourself with like-minded people, because I draw a lot of inspiration from just the movement and just the people as a whole. In fact, everybody's different stories on how they became vegan. I just love all of that. And that's how I started, was with the market stalls. I just loved it. I love volunteering at all the market stalls, and talking about the values of the AJP. And that's how I learnt, because it's a little overwhelming when you see all of our positions and policies. But as you do more and more stalls, you get better and better at it. I did the training, all the modules, which was so interesting and very helpful. It didn't take long to do. And then with each market stall, I just got better and better, and it just became, and it really flowed. So signing up new people, signing up new members was always really exciting for me. And that just, I just kept doing that, actually, just kept encouraging people to sign up and become a member. And it was just really just a natural progression. That's what I love doing.
And I think also people need to remember they don't have to be front people, because a lot of people are too scared to be out front.
Yep.
But there's so many behind the scenes jobs that need to be done, even just collating all the information, being a treasurer, being a secretary. You know, there's just so much of that when you've only got like a really tiny team, you need all those extra volunteers who are going to do the behind scenes work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, who have we got behind us here?
Good, look, this is Mr. Marble.
Mr. Marble. Hello.
Mr. Marble from the Greyhound.
Oh, he's so sweet.
Yeah, they desperately want to go for a walk now. So, yeah, but no, sorry, Mackenzie, what did you say?
No, I just said he was so sweet.
Yeah, he's really funny. He's really terrific.
Oh,
But,
we'll let you go so you can take them for a walk. But thank you so much for your time, Amanda. It was really nice to have you on the podcast. Again, a huge congratulations on getting elected. We are so excited to see what animal issues you can tackle over the next 4 years in WA.
Yeah, we'll be watching very, very carefully, because, we're very proud of the AJP politicians and all the people behind as well, because they're all doing really amazing work with so little people behind them. Because you think about the big parties, they've got masses of people. AJP just has a few people working and working hard, pretty much 24/7. So, it's hats off to you. We're proud of all of you. Well done. Yeah, congratulations from me as well. But thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you very much. Anytime. Thank you very much, Rick. Thank you, Mackenzie. And I look forward to seeing you all soon in person, okay? I'll see you again.
Yeah,
well, we definitely look forward to that. So, folks, thank you so much for being here with us for another episode. And again, one of those inspiring episodes that we walk away with going, oh, this has made us feel so good.
Yeah.
So
the antidote to all the animal cruelty we were watching today.
Oh, yeah, exactly. This is what we needed. So thanks, folks. And we look forward to seeing you in our next episode.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to the Vegan Compass podcast, unveiling truths, inspiring change.
Be sure to follow us on social media at @thevegancompass_podcast. See you next time.